You know, Ryan Day, come here, buddy. You know, 8 minutes to go in the game, Michigan up by 3. They're going to run the ball every single play, and you can't stop them. That's what cost you the game. Get the helmet out the way. Well, get this up where y'all can see this. This is a very important stat right here. 0-3. That's 3 in a row. I tried warning you. I got a lot to say about this game. I need to hurry up because the Iron Bowl's on. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big-time Alabama fan. But I don't want to rush this video because I do got a lot to say, but I want to do it in the shortest amount of time possible, if that makes sense. First things first, we'll get back to this in just a second. I got to address this because it's the first thing on my mind. Okay. How do I say it? Okay, well, I'll start with this. When Ryan Day lost to Michigan, not this year, not last year, but the year before that, the first time he ever lost to Michigan, I made a video, multiple videos on the channel, we talked about it. If you were a subscriber back then, an OG, you know. I said, after that game, Ryan Day's a fraud and he should be fired. He'll never win a big game at Ohio State. He'll never lead him to a championship. He's good enough to go 11-1, maybe 12-1 if he wins a bowl game, but he's not good enough to win a championship. He can't win the big game. And what everybody say, Matt, you're tripping, man. You're being a little too hard on him. He just lost to Michigan one time. Okay, that's fine. I didn't expect many people to agree with me. It was a hot take saying that Ryan Day should have been fired after losing to Michigan after year 1. Well, then what happened? Last year, he lost to Michigan again. But the kicker with that game was they were supposed to win. It was in their home stadium, and they got blown out. I mean, they really got blown out the first time, but they only lost by, I believe it was 15. Last year, it was a butt whooping. It got ugly in the fourth quarter when Edwards broke off the 85 and 75-yard run. And then here we are. Well, here we are now. After that game, say the same thing. Ryan Day's a fraud. And some people, I give some of y'all credit in the comment section, were like, you know what? I think Matt might be onto something here because he lost to Michigan in back-to-back years in which really, well, it wasn't even comparable now you think about it. Ohio State in both games had a better quarterback. K. McNamara beat him, and McNamara couldn't even retain the starting job. And last year, I mean, nobody's going to sit up here and try to say that J.J. McCarthy is better than C.J. Stroud. McCarthy played out of his mind last year, and also this year, we'll get to that in just a second. But nobody would take McCarthy over Stroud. But still, even at that, everybody's like, okay, Matt, you're kind of probably overreacting to all of this because he did good against Georgia, and I'll give him that. Ryan Day coached pretty good against Georgia, but it's Ohio State. Pretty good's not enough. Are we doing moral victories now at Ohio State? Am I supposed to applaud you? Losing effort against Georgia? No. It is Ohio freaking State. They have the highest of high standards, just like Bama and Georgia. So, losing in a good coaching effort, no. You can't put it in the same sentence. Like I said, though, after last year, everybody's like, okay, Matt, we can kind of hear you out, but let's give him another year. And I said, no, there's no point in giving Ryan Day another year. He's a fraud. Man, I just got to take a deep breath. It gets me rallied up, man, it does. Because people don't get it. Some of you do, but a lot of people don't. The definition of a fraud is someone who deceives you. They put on a face. Same thing with Lincoln Riley. Different video for a different day, but he's a fraud. But I've stated for years now, Ryan Day's a fraud. He puts on this act that, he's a really good coach. He's up there with the Kirby Smarts and maybe Nick Saban's. And I know Dabo Swinney sort of fell off, but he's been thrown in that conversation a little bit. But no. He's not that because he can't get over the hump. And I want to make this astronomically clear. I've also stated this. Ryan Day is a really good coach, but that's all he is. And for Ohio State, they don't want really good head coaches. They want Sabans. They want Kirby Smarts. And there's no excuse. Last year should have been the final. If you didn't want to fire him after the first loss to Michigan, I get it. But last year should have been the final straw. You were more talented than Georgia. You had the most talented team in the nation. And you still couldn't win a championship. That should have been the last straw. In this game, If you saw the preview, I predicted Michigan to win 31-20. So I got pretty close there. Pretty proud of that. So clap it up to myself there. Or whatever. Just clapping up for myself because it's been wrong a little bit this year. But been on a hot streak later in the season. But that's besides the point. We got to talk about what happened in this game. There was so many, and somebody said this, I can't remember who it was as a broadcaster, but I'm trying to think. You know what, whatever, we're just going to go with it. But someone stated, and it's true, the margin for error in college football with your big-time opponents when they're going head-to-head, like Michigan and Ohio State, it is so, and I mean so slim. It's a game of inches, and we saw that today. It seemed like every 50-50 ball or every, what you would call it, replay they did in the booth, it went Michigan's way. To start the game, what happened? I was going to say pick six, but it pretty much was a pick six. Kyle McCord throws it. Michigan returns it to a 7. And what happens? Michigan, they don't get it on 3rd down, but they go for it on 4th down. They get it. Boom. That was a 4th and inches play. If you stop them, more than likely Ohio State wins that game. What happens after that on the next touchdown? Y'all know what I'm talking about when the Michigan wide receiver was losing control in the end zone. I will state, me personally, if you're an Ohio State fan, you probably disagree. I think it's a touchdown because when he was entering the end zone, he had control or somewhat of control, right? He had control at about the 2 or 1, and as he was falling, he had control. Then the Ohio State defender ripped it away from him, but no, I personally would have called it a touchdown. But yet again, it goes back to this. Game of inches. If that goes Ohio State's way, they probably win this game. There's so many things you could point to. Oh yeah, what about this? I thought this was huge, right? It's the end of the 2nd quarter. Ohio State, they're clicking on all cylinders, 14-10, they're driving. There's about 45 seconds left. It's 4th and 2. And Ryan Day did this against Georgia in the championship too. Instead of trying to get closer for a field goal, if you want to take a field goal, that's fine. But it's 4th and 2 on what was it, about the 30-ish? You're okay with your kicker kicking a 52-yarder? No, why not try to get a little closer? If you don't get the 4th down, who cares? Ryan Day does this every single year. He coaches not to lose. The only time he ever coached to win a game was against Georgia. And even then, he was a little cautious. Same thing here. If you don't get that 4th and 2 and Michigan, best case scenario, Michigan just gets 3 out of it. But even at that, Michigan probably would have took a knee. So I just didn't understand that. I thought that was boneheaded, and we saw it. Ohio State's kicker, 14-10, kicks it. The first one, it's good. Timeout. Goes back down there 2nd time and misses. 3rd quarter, pretty even. Yeah, nothing really happened in 3rd quarter, but this is the last thing I'm going to say, and I got to get back to watching this Iron Bowl. Maybe we'll talk about this later because there's so many things I want to say. 4th quarter, Ohio State, they scored a touchdown. That's awesome. Great touchdown drive. They cut to 3 points. There's a little over 8 minutes to go in the game. Michigan has the ball, and they just milk the entire clock. You know, Ryan Day, come here, buddy. You know, 8 minutes to go in the game, Michigan up by 3. They're going to run the ball every single play, and you can't stop them. That's what cost you the game. And then you can't even really put it on Kyle McCord. I'll get to this in just a second. At the end there, you gave him the ball. He's pretty much a rookie quarterback. I know he's not a rookie, but I don't think he's a freshman either. But it's his first year playing for Ohio State. He's got the ball a minute to go. Come on, man. That's just too. If you were to ask him to get you a field goal, I could understand it. But under a minute to go, got to get a touchdown, no timeouts. I can't put that on the end there for Kyle McCord. I can't put that on him at the end. No. That's on Ryan Day and whoever is calling the plays on defense. You should have done 0 all-out blitzes once there is 6 minutes to go in this game. If they break one off, cool. But the fact Michigan just milked the clock from 8 minutes to 1 minute, that's what cost you the game. Simple as that. And I know everybody's going to say, well, that wasn't the only thing. And you're right, it's not. But I hate when people do this, like when a field goal kicker misses the field goal and they go, oh, well, that didn't cost us the game. No, that was the end of the game and he missed a field goal. Yes, that cost you the game. It's the same principle here. It doesn't matter what happened before that 8-minute mark in the 4th quarter. It already happened. You can only control the controllables. And for some odd reason, Ryan Day and their defense wasn't putting 9 in the box when you knew Michigan was going to run the ball on every single play. I am not an Ohio State fan by any stretch of the imagination. But that made me mad. Knowing a team's going to run the ball and you can't stop them, that just does something to me as a fan. I'm like, man. And I get it's much easier said than done. I'm not saying I could have went out there and stopped them, but you get the point. Ohio State's front 7 was pretty much dominating Michigan all day. Blake Corum, Edwards was, yeah, they broke off a couple 20-yarders here and there. But for the most part, they was getting 3-4 yards a carry. I just don't understand why Ohio State, who has just as talented players as Michigan, couldn't load up 9 in the box and say, you know what? If you want to get a first down under 8 minutes to go, you're going to have to pass. And if they pass and get it, so be it. But that just made me frustrated watching Michigan run out the clock at the end of the game. And then poor Kyle McCord, I'll get to him in just a second. I feel like I've said that a lot, but seriously, I'll get to him in just a second. You give him the ball with a minute to go. What did you expect? I mean, seriously, I'm asking Ohio State fans. Let me know in the comment section. Did any of you actually expect to come back and win this game with a minute to go? And pretty much a freshman quarterback, first-year quarterback, whatever you want to call him. There's no way you thought you was going to get a touchdown at the end of the game. No way. There's so many more things I could say. You know what? I'll probably do this. I'll come back later when this Iron Bowl's over, and we'll talk about this again because there's, like I said, so many things I want to touch on. But I really want to get back to watching this game. Congratulations to Michigan. Oh, yeah, I need to throw us in there. I told the Ohio State fans this in the preview video. For those of you who don't know, I've been referring to Ohio State as Little Bro, well, really, Ohio, quote-unquote, Little Bro State, because they've lost to Michigan in the past 2 years. And I said, okay, Ohio State fans, I'll make a deal for you. And it's not really a deal. I was going to do it anyways. If you want me to stop calling you Ohio, Little Bro State, all you got to do is beat Michigan. You got to beat Big Bro. You didn't beat them. So, unfortunately for Ohio State fans, I will be referring to Ohio State as Ohio, Little Bro State for another 365 days, but I have a deal for you. Same deal. If you want me to quit referring to you as Ohio Little Bro State, you got to beat Michigan next year. Now, the good news is you can do that. The ball's in your court, but you're going to have to wait another 365 days. Choice is yours. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.